What's going on, friends? I've got a whiteboard out today and I'm going to show you what type of social media content builds authority which gets you to this, which is to get you some clients or some meetings. So I see often that people tend to create content that is around events that they've been to, random things that have happened in the office, and that's all well and good in small amounts, but what that doesn't do is it doesn't drive any sales, it doesn't get you any leads, and it doesn't start a conversation underneath your content for people who actually want to engage with you. And the whole point of you doing anything on LinkedIn, in my opinion, is to develop connections, start conversations, and eventually get this, which is clients. So what type of content does well? Hope you can see that. Opinions and tips. So if there is an industry opinion that you've got that you think might help somebody else, or a tip that you have learned on your journey or from another customer or another potential client, other people don't know that. So by you sharing it, you're giving value to the people who are following you. Next one, step-by-step guides. If you can show somebody how to do something and you can solve a problem of your client with a step-by-step guide, not only are they likely to think, whoa, this guy knows what he's talking about, but they might actually think, hey, now I know how to do this, I'd like somebody to implement that for me. That can be you. You can also put how I solved a problem. So if you've solved the problem yourself and you've done it in a particular way, then you can share that on the timeline. Little known industry tips kind of goes back to what we were talking about there. Just things that you know that are not common knowledge in the industry. People love that stuff. And then case studies. So case studies should be shared often because people want to see somebody. It's all well and good a salesperson saying, I can do all these magical things. But if you can show somebody who is like them, who has gone through the transformation from A, which is where they were starting from with their problem, to B, you solving the problem, using the thing that you sell, then they'll be much more likely to contact you to implement that. Testimonials. These days, social proof is massive. So if you can get somebody on camera, which is quite rare, but if you can get a sign off from a brand or a company, or if you can't get sign off, you can talk kind of vaguely about the problem and how you've solved it and what you've done for a big consumer brand or something. There are ways and means that doesn't require sign off. Success stories, similar stuff. Share your successes. People love cheering other people on. It's a great way to build a little community for yourself. This is the bit that people get stuck on. So personal stories, you don't need to share the ins and outs of your entire life. I think it's a bit of a ridiculous thing. It's more narcissistic, and that's what stops people sharing on social media. But just sharing your day, what you're up to. People are nosy. People are interested in what you're doing. And if you share those things sporadically, people would love to come on the journey with you as you get more successful. And the main rule here is to be consistent. So if that is you posting once a week and that's all you think you can do, that's fine. It's something that you can manage and a schedule that you can keep to. Next one, let's get the whiteboard back. Schedule stuff. So I used to think that anybody who was on social media all the time was not doing their work. But what you realize once you start creating content is that there are people automating all this and scheduling it so that they don't need to be anywhere near social media for most of the day. So what I do with a lot of stuff is I batch content and then I schedule it on a scheduler and then it just goes out. So it looks like I'm ever present online, but the reality is I've got something working in the background, sorting things out for me whilst I get on with my job. So I hope that was helpful. And if you've got any questions, just drop a comment below.